little bit, nearly 100 damage just by itself. Softens up so many of these T's, and now they can be pivoted into. Spinks posted the back of the site, already with one, and putting that aim to use for two. Runs out of ammunition, should be going down, but Snappy has his back covered, and the damage has been done. It's a close-out round with only Spinks being...
They're also getting aggressive in the apartment, so they're getting a lot of map right now.
Yeah, tons of information. They can hear the footsteps just below them, but Alu peeks out, gets tagged down to 50. They've already taken down Spinks. Add Snappy into the mix, and the
is still kind of figuring out exactly where they want to commit it. This is going to slide out, spots the closet player, gets that kill. D-How able to find his man, but now FaZe know where they can bring this bomb and just work together. They know that there was at most one at A. They find it, bomb will go down, and so FaZe is going to give us a very kind of deja vu feeling to how Train played out with kind of that 1-1 scramble at the start rather than some type of team, you know, kind of dominant.
From Asses, MP9 also tossed in the mix with no utility really to speak of and no kits either. Twist with the FAMAS just runs straight out and peels back 2 heads.
They are gonzo after that thumb and middle finger connect and swipe through. And so... I mean, doesn't everyone stab with their thumb and middle finger? I had to second guess myself there. I would think so, right?
Yeah, I do it. Middle finger and thumb, sure.
I guess you could feasibly do it with your ring finger and your thumb, but that would be weird. All right, just making sure I wasn't crazy. Every now and then you got to give yourself a little bit of a reality check on your sanity levels, and I'm glad you were able to help me through that one, Vince, as you always have throughout the years.
You're very welcome, Dust. I'm glad that I could be useful
Much
sometimes.
Love. More ways than one.
Oh, Snappy. Plug and Twist down to 1 HP. Still stands tall enough to deliver the frag onto Spinks. And let's be honest, their economy... That's pretty grim. There's no two ways about it. That stat has to change. The double nades. The nuke is landed in his Brokey. And it gets eradicated. Good mollies also tossed in for good measure. Keeps the T's back. But they've also thrown in counter mollies to allow them the passage to top Banana. Additionally,
what's going on over at middle, they're trying to kind of keep an eye on it with Alu's AWP. And Spinks has that boosted position and does find his man before going down, but now they know where he is. They have him isolated. A great flash comes in, but Rain through it anyway finds Spinks.
It's not... Well, I was going to say last line of defense, but he has now been taken down as Rain puts the sled to try and go in. Desperation may be creeping in for the Finns and the pole. As Alu is now all alone. Last man standing, and Coldzera wide swings him. 6 smoke tossed in the HE, but it's negligible damage at best, and they don't necessarily have a huge amount of utility behind it. Snappy's been picked off as well, which just adds to the woes.
Yeah, it's picks on opposite ends of the map almost simultaneously. It's forcing ENCE to really scramble as they're very spread thin. They still don't really know what the focus is for FaZe. They do still kind of have Spinks in a forward position over towards the cart here at Banana. And he does get the kill onto Brokey, so that alleviates some pressure on what he can find.
Oh, it feels like Alu's completely screwed. Unless timing gets the better of Rain, which it won't. You know, splatters Alu from behind. D-Ha now does at least get one in return, and it does definitely give him a fighting chance, but his teammates not moved yet. They're not even sure as to whether this is a B or an A hit, so D-Ha's all alone. He just catches a glimpse of the player pushing into pit and takes his head off, and now D-Ha has every chance of clutching this round out, but he has been suppressed by Carrigan. 1-on-1, and Spinks is still on the B side. It's going to take him ages to get across.
That's just the impact of Rain having that archway position for so long. It really forced ENCE to have to hold their ground on both ends, and it gives Carrigan a chance in the 1v1.
The timing may work against him because Spinks took so long. Carrigan started to doubt himself.
Catching Rain at arch after he stamped out Alu. Finding the first kill over towards pit without giving Carrigan a
back around. Another smoke has now been tossed in, but Twist position is so powerful, and he finishes off what Rain started down middle in that opening trade. There are still 2 players on the A side, including D-Ha, who's just hit a vein of form. But he's going to be called upon multiple more times, and Carrigan is actually out of the hat and just sprayed down a couple players. It could be good enough as he's looking to go for that wide swing. 5 seconds to play with, but Brokey is checking his angles, and even though D-Ha has ENCE are going to have any chance of clutching this, D-Ha or Dotto have got to go massive. They're missing too many bullets, and they're both going to get costed as a result down.
you might as well just go ahead and chalk up an 11th round for FaZe and ENCE staying at 2 because their economy is absolutely in tatters. And Brokey's already taken one op off the board. Snappy tucked into the corner at the sandbags, trying to hold this ground. He's good for 1, but that's going to be all, and that's not good enough as FaZe are just tearing ENCE apart all across the map, Vince.
It feels like ENCE are out of ideas. Like, this just seems like a team that has run out of steam. They can't keep the pace with FaZe. They're just being, as you said, outmaneuvered at every single turn. And the reason I'm not even really talking about Dotto and Dihaz
as well. So if FaZe commit to middle, this might be a little bit tough.
Hopefully ENCE can get it done, but of course they check the angles. And there's a perfect
Vince.
flashbang tossed out there. There was no secondary player playing anti-flash and a Molotov alongside it, so Dihaz was just dangled on the end of a rod, and Twists goes fishing. 3 times in the round, headshots delivered, first class. He's up to 18 frags already, and we haven't even finished the first half.
I swear I haven't seen Twist miss a shot yet. It just seems like every time he comes out, when we're watching the other players' POV, they're dead in the blink of an eye. They never even really get a chance to pull the trigger. Twit's just been so clean. He might even ace this round. No, Snappy will not allow that, but who cares at this point, really? FaZe are just dominating the scoreboard here. Snappy trying just to save this M4 over towards construction area. And even if he were, it's just such a small victory to claim, and he won't even get that.
Vile players that just came out of nowhere and was just an absolute...
Yeah.
He's not even been required this game.
Nope.
He's 8 kills. Like, he doesn't need to do anything. Carrigan, straight up, gets the entry, instantly retorted on, but that's still going to favor FaZe.
Yeah, absolutely. There is some banana control there here from ENCE, as we do see Spinks getting very aggressive with the MP9, so that could be a huge factor in their favor. He does take Brokey down. Twist actually only good for 1 this time around, which has been a rarity. And so hold the phone. There is a chance for ENCE in this final round of the half, though. Cold. Go to find 1v2. Can't get past the second. So ENCE,
any hope of pulling this one off, and it is going to be pushing straight towards the A site. Brokey is waiting. Nate are put down with a ton of bullets behind him. And now Snappy, although he can get 1, doesn't real quick. To be devil's advocate, though, if they do concede this, they've put a lot of money into the round, so maybe there's a way back forward. But of course, Brokey shows that the triple op setup can't be very much a success as he picks up the first play. It's going to be Dha. Lack of utility as they look to try and push onto the site, and Dotto's been finished off next, and Brokey goes in again. The House of Cards is coming down, trying to get the no-scope at the end, being cheeky, but Alu's being overwhelmed as players behind him, in front of him, and at least he gets a kill. He's about to get fragged by Carrigan, or perhaps not. Alu's still in with a chance in this round. He's being pushed down from another player down towards middle who may get the drop on him. And there is Cold Zera. That's going to be all she wrote. 16.